Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to be doing a review on Madam Serris. What is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies, and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See? It doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
Cookie Monster is sad that he has no cookies, and you are sad that you have no friends. Okay, jokes aside, Madam Serris. How good is she? What is she like? Let's go over and look at mine that I have built up. So I went defensive heavy with her. I didn't go into an attack type because she has very high. Let's look at her stats here. Her base stats, she has almost 20,000 HP. She has 1,167 defense, very high. Her attack is already very low, right? She has good speed. So I kind of just wanted to make her really defensive heavy, which even still I didn't do, right? I've been slack on her gear. I don't have this maxed out. I don't have that maxed out. Let's see what we have here. I have defense, I have HP, I have attack, and then look at my accuracy. It is insane, 411. Well, you need insane accuracy at top tier PvP. That's what kind of accuracy you need. So it just depends on who you're battling. Now, I know PvP right now doesn't matter at all, but at one day, maybe it will matter, and maybe we'll get some good battles. We'll have some leaderboards, some PvP stuff. I don't know. We'll get to see some things happen, hopefully in the future soon. So really, I didn't do anything at all as far as making her DPS heavy because she's only got 42 crit rate and 84 critical damage, and her attack isn't very high at all because she has a skill 3. Let's go over skill real quick. Her skill 1 will attack and of course has a chance to apply fear. Now if it has debuffs on, you'll have a higher chance to apply the fear. Her skill 3 turn cooldown. This one does do damage. Her skill 3 doesn't do damage. Her skill 2 does do damage, is what we're looking at right now. Tricks and treats. It has a 50% chance to steal a random buff off of each target, and then if you do steal a buff, you place block debuffs buff on all your allies for you guys, and then you get to place the true fear if you stole it from somebody. So whoever you stole it from, you get a chance to try to place true fear on them. That's on a 3-turn cooldown, and it does do damage. Now her skill 3 is the one that removes all buffs, places a decreased attack and decreased defense on all enemies for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. And then she also has the passive that when she's hit with the shield, she gets a shield of 10% of her max HP at the start of each turn. So I wanted to bring her HP up higher because of the shield, of course, and then whenever she's attacked with the shield, she has a percentage chance to try to place fear. So I kind of want to make her super tanky. I don't want her to be targeted, first off. So I don't know. She'll still be targeted. It's kind of weird to say you don't want her to be targeted, but at least then when she is targeted, you just don't want her to die. I mean, what's the use of her being there if she dies right away? What's the use of her doing subpar DPS when really she's there to try to place a fear, try to remove the buffs, right? Remove the buffs, decrease attack, and decrease defense. So she's lowering the damage you're going to take, and then increasing the damage they're going to take. Now, I will tell you, there's a one fatal flaw with her that I do not like at all. She's Void, which is fantastic, but all I did with her is I went down here to War Master, and then I wanted to extend her buffs and extend her debuffs. Now, she only gets a chance to put buffs up if you steal a buff from an enemy, but then, of course, we get a chance to extend it. I mean, there wasn't like other options that I really wanted to go into with her, and then I got Evil Eye, of course, to lower the turn meter on her skill 1, the first hit, because I could make her defensive and do Selfless Defender like some of my other champions to try to take and make her really tanky. We could do that route. We could not worry about War Master, go in here and do Selfless Defender, do a few other things, make her very tanky. We could even put stun gear on her, but she's not going to do stuns on this because it doesn't apply any damage. It doesn't actually hit them, so I'm 99% sure this will not apply stuns. Of course, this is on 3-turn cooldown, so you could get some stuns or even provoke gear, put some provoke gear on her and make her very, very tanky and go with the provoke gear on a 3-turn cooldown, which isn't really a bad idea for her at all. Not at all, because it'll help out with waves, and then when you get to the boss, this right here is going to help out with any bosses. So this right here is going to help with waves, of course. It can't do anything on bosses. It's not going to steal. It can steal from a boss, yes, but it's not going to place true fear, but it still can get you the block debuffs. There are very few bosses out there that have buffs for us to steal right now, so I think she's going to really shine when we get to somewhere that has a tower. If we get this magical tower, we get this void tower we keep talking about, that I've been talking about forever, that's in Summoners Wars, Epic 7, hell, we even have one in Dragon Champions that I'm playing right now. That one's a 12-floor tower daily. So once we get that, and there's different waves of champions that we're fighting, kind of going to be like faction wars, then there's going to be bosses as well that I'm sure are going to have different mechanics than the bosses we see right now. Bosses that are just like they are in Summoners Wars, because then she'll be really good. She'll be really good for that. She's of course really good for faction wars, no doubt. And she's good for anything else that you do in PvP, as long as you can bring the damage. Because remember, this does not do damage. My Zargala, when she goes in and she's going in to do an AoE decreased defense, she is doing massive amount of damage with that. This Madam Series is not. She's not doing a massive amount of damage, but she is removing any buffs that are up and placing a decreased attack. So that is really nice. That means when you get hit back, which again isn't really the meta in Arena right now. It can be. It depends on where you're at with Arena, right? It depends on how fast you are, how good, how strong your team, what kind of team you're playing, what kind of team comp, what you're facing. It can make a difference, but it just depends. The way Arena is right now, it doesn't really. If we had a 2-turn immunity runes, 2-set immunity runes for 1 turn, then this would be really, really good. We'd see this played more, and Arena meta would be much nicer. That's the way it is in Summoners Wars. You just have a 2-piece set, you get 1 turn immunity, and it makes Arena a lot better. It makes the whole meta changes, everything is much better. So then you would bring her in there to take that off and apply these 2 debuffs, and you'd be good to go. Now, as far as where I like to take her the most in, obviously, like I just said, faction wars, very good. When a tower comes out, very good. As far as taking her through any dungeons right now, yes, you can. And I like to, but I don't. Because, I'll show you, because she does not apply her skill 3 right away. She does her skill 2 first, which I don't like at all. So I'm going to throw her in here with just this team. Why not? Let's see what happens. I think I ran this a couple days ago. I did my misgraded monster review first because I was having so much fun with him in spiders, along with running him through here as well and everywhere else in the game, everywhere. So she does not start with, right, so she'll start with her skill 2. Obviously, she was fast enough to be the decreased defense breaker, right? She would have lowered their attack, lowered their def, just like she just did right then, and then my Royal Guard would have come in and hit them, and everything would have worked out. But for some reason, Madam Series and Harvest Jack both do their skill 2 first and not their skill 3. And now it is not a thing of, hey, we always do skill 2s. That is not true. I can tell you Dark Aethel that I've used many times, and I just used her the other day trying out some stuff on spiders, will always use her skill 3 first. Always. So there are champions out there that always, wow, we're getting beat down. We're getting beat down bad. They will always use their skill 3s first. So it is a, champion by champion kind of thing. And here's where she shines. You just saw. She puts up a 3-turn attack down, and decrease defense down on everybody here, which is very, very strong in Ice Golems, because if you get this decreased attack, just like if you had Padma, just like if you have, what's his name, Maneater, they do it on their skill 1. They apply the decreased attack to everybody on the team, right? As long as they get a crit. So it's very handy to save yourself so that you don't die from Ice Golems. This is just as important as the clan boss. To have that decreased attack of 50%. Look how hard he's hitting me. My guys, of course, aren't really high HP. These guys right here are DPS. Now, if I didn't have this up, they would have already died to that barrage of AoE from the Ice Golem itself. But we have so many turns of decreased defense and decreased attack now on these guys. We can take them down faster, and we're going to take much less damage from the boss, which is very, very needed, especially for a team like this. I hope this team can actually make it. It doesn't look good. We do have Arbiter in here to bring us back to life. It doesn't look fantastic. I should have brought maybe Kymar in here, or of course Bad L. Okay, we didn't take that much damage. Again, we have the decrease attack up, and this is all because of her. Now, the rest of her kit, how does it help us out? Well, again, in waves in this game, I don't think it's necessary, right? What I want her there for is to remove the buffs, her skill 3, and to apply the decreased attack and the decreased defense. As far as everything else for me in PvE, stage 20 things, the rest of it's just icing on the cake, right? But I need her to do that first. I need her to apply it first. I need her to do her skill 3 right away when we start the wave, and that way my DPS can follow that up and do damage to those monsters, right? To those champions. And if any of those champions are left over, they're going to hit me back, hopefully for less damage, because they're going to have the decreased attack on that enemy champion, right? So I don't know. Right now, the way she is, I don't like how she opens up with her skill 2. It doesn't benefit us at all in waves. Maybe auto in PvP, but even still, it doesn't, because in PvP, wow, wow, this is not looking good. We are losing stuff. So even in PvP, if I brought her in there, I'd want her to do this move, which you just saw. It's kind of hard to catch because she just puts it up, right? She just throws it up, and then it's on the enemy. In PvP, I still want her to open with remove all of the enemy buffs, decrease their attack, and decrease their defense. Why would I not? Why would I want her to open up with a skill 2 that only has a 50% chance to remove a buff that they have, and then that's it? Does damage, 50% chance to remove a buff. If I do remove a buff, it gives them True Fear, has a chance to, and then it gives all my guys immunity to debuffs. But wouldn't it be much better and smarter as far as doing waves and as PvP? Because PvP you can do manual if you want to. If you wanted to do that, I still wouldn't want to. Say they had a whole bunch of buffs up. Why would I do her skill 2 and chance not getting some of those removed? I would do her skill 3 because it's going to remove all buffs off the enemy, no matter how many they have a chance to, right? And then it's going to decrease their attack, decrease their defense. So there's no way I would ever choose skill 2 over skill 3 ever on auto. It's just no reason. And spiders, when I go into spiders 20, if I were to bring her in there, which I would if she did her skill 3 first, I would bring her into spiders 20, because then she's going to decrease attack and decrease defense, all the spiders, along with the spider boss. And then immediately my Royal Guard's going to do damage. My Cold Heart's going to do her AoE, which is still going to do more damage to all the spiderlings as well. Seer, if I have her in there, or if I have, then when Royal Guard comes back around to do her Heartseeker skill 4, you'll still have that decreased defense up. If the spider boss actually does get to take a turn, if something happens and you don't get those the turn meter downs, at least when the spider boss hits you, it's at a 50% less attack. So it's huge. It's really huge, and I don't understand who is programming this stuff. I don't get it, because in Jack's case, Harvest Jack, you want him to do the same thing. You want him to do a skill 3 first before he does the skill 2. It doesn't make sense at all. And again, it's a play by play. It's a champion by champion thing. It's not all champions do skill 2s into their skill 3s. That is not true at all. It's funny too, because Zargala is random. Sometimes she does her skill 2. Usually in PV, we had a lot of decreased defense. Usually in PV, wow, we are just hanging on by a thread with Arbiter. Usually Zargala will always do her AoE in PvE first. Actually, I think she always does. But in PvP, it's a toss-up. She'll do A2 or A3, her attack 2 or attack 3. Who knows? It's really a toss-up between that. So here she is. So do I think that she is phenomenal? I do like her. I enjoy playing her. What else could I bring her in? Oh, let's go over to PvP and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I think for Ice Golem, she's great. She's like, that is where I would use her the most. And again, I would use her in spiders as my decreased defense and my decreased attack if she did that skill right away, because I don't want to manual it. I want to do auto. I want to hit auto. I want her to do her skill 3. To me, let me know. Let me know in the comments below if it doesn't make sense to you. But for me, it makes 100% sense for her to do skill 3 in anything. PvP, in anything you play, does not matter. Right now, Arena is so botched. It doesn't matter what you fight against. Most teams are super, super weak. I just had these people in here to auto it, just to simply auto it because it's so easy lately. But we're gonna go ahead and put this in. We're gonna take out Zargala, even though we could just keep her in there and play with it. So here we go. So we're gonna boost. We're gonna boost, and then we're gonna do decreased defense. Oh, these guys look scary. Let's see what we have. So we are going to taunt, which one? Lysandra? Yeah, let's taunt her. And then we're going to AoE. If they had any buffs up, of course, we'd remove it. We're gonna decrease the attack, decrease defense, which is great. Now my Zargala is gonna do more damage. All right, so there we go. Was it amazing? It would be if they had buffs up. If they started with immunity runes, which normally in most games they have them on a 1 turn for a 2-piece set, which is much easier because then a lot of people use them in PvP. You would start a match and you would see everybody with a 1-turn immunity. That way, if I'm speeding way faster than you, I couldn't come in there and just apply a decreased defense right away. And it makes the whole meta better. Believe me, it makes PvP 100 times better. Of course, we've told this to Polarium, and Polarium has played Summoner's Wars for 5 years straight. All the people there, even the head person there. But for some reason, I don't know, they don't update stuff, man. I don't know what it is. So anyways, we're talking about Madam Serris. So let's get in here and fight against somebody else. I want kind of more. I need somebody in here. I need to gear out my Anithwi Bloodtwain and put him in there and do more damage. But we're going to take some more Void in here to have some fun. We're going to take some more removal if they had enough to do that. So let's see how fast these people are going to be. We're going to taunt this guy right here, provoke him. Okay, no provoke, but we did turn meter decrease. We're fine. We're going to do this. So we did not get a decreased attack on her. That is okay. And we are going to remove all buffs again and hit everybody. And if not, put them to sleep. So that didn't do as much damage as I was hoping. I don't think they have really high HP. So they have to have higher HP for us to really get in there and do some serious damage. Yeah, these guys, I don't know what's going on with Arena. Everybody in Arena is very weak. Anybody you face lately, you can just almost, in my situation, not necessarily in your situation, but almost anybody I face, I can just auto it with almost anything in my group. I can just, whatever, auto, put in people and hit auto, and we're good to go. But that's how she operates. So I think, honestly, after playing both, I like Miscreated Monster more. I think he has more uses as a carry for any account, and even in-game. For Madam Series, for me to want to use her all the time, she doesn't do any damage on that skill 3. I need her to at least do it first. She needs to do that skill 3 first. Then I'll be using her more often. It'll be fun to use her. But there she is. I think she's a great champion. I'm gonna try to keep playing with her and find more ways that I enjoy her. But I can tell you right now, Ice Golems is where she really shines. Putting that decreased defense and the decreased attack on the boss and the 2 side minions is like the best place for her right now. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for watching Madam Series. I will see you all in a video soon.